years waited for us. But when we finally came, it was to answer a call.
Hello guys, welcome to this first look at Tharsis. This is a new game from the same developers that created Laser Life. This is a roguelike. You take charge of the first manned mission to Mars. And Tharsis is actually the name of a volcanic plateau on Mars, a region there. Humanity received a mysterious signal from Mars, so we're headed out to investigate it, and everything goes wrong on the way there. So let's just start a new game and I'll explain the gameplay mechanics as we go. Here we choose 4 crew members, and I only have these that I can choose. These are still locked, and you'll unlock them as you complete the game. As an example, your Novak is unlocked if you beat the game, if you make it to Mars. You could also choose a harder difficulty here. I have not tried that. I've played the game 3 times on normal and I've only made it halfway to Mars. And there's a pretty good tutorial, but I already played that, so we'll skip that and I'll just try and explain the mechanics. Every astronaut has a specific skill. This is the doctor, plus 1 health to crew in module. This is the specialist, plus 1 reroll. The game is based on dice rolls, as you will see shortly. And this one is the mechanic, and he can get a plus 1 repairing ship damage. And the captain get 1 more die in the crew module. You can also randomize your crew. So let's go.
We had prepared for any disaster, for every disaster. Not all of them at once. We can't turn back, but how can we go on?
Update. A cluster of micrometeoroids have crippled the Ectomy and killed 2 crew. J. Cross has been ejected into space, and Mapia Musgrave suffered a fatal injury. Your new goal, survive. Alright, so we have our spaceship here, and it just got hit by a meteorite. And we lost 2 crew members that died. One was ejected into space, and the other one is dead in the medical bay. And here we can see how many dice rolls a specific crew member has. You see the specialist has 3, the captain has 2, and these can increase. But they'll also go down every time you pass a turn. And there's 10 weeks to Mars, and we're in the first week now. And every week is sort of like a turn. When all of the crew members have spent their turn, then a week will pass. This is the ship, how much hull damage it has. It has 3 hit points left. And we can see the impending damage here, 2 points. And those 2 points are from over here, this meteoroid strike. You can see that it has 2 red bars. You can also see this number is how much it takes to fix that situation, 23 points and 7 points here. You can also see that here it has a negative impact. It doesn't do damage, there's no red bars, but it has a negative impact, minus 1 food, as long as this situation here is a problem. And this is the amount of food that we have, and food will restore dice rolls. And the ship has different modules, and every module has a function. If you click here on ship info, you can see that this is the flight control, no movement damage. If you roll a 5 and place it there, and in here you can harvest food in the greenhouse, you have a chance to create food. And here you have a chance to regain dice in life support. Operations, you have a chance to reduce stress. And in the medical bay, you can do a health recovery for a crew member. Again, all of this is based on luck. And ship repair and maintenance, and the laboratory increases assists. The assists is up here, we can see that we have 1, but we'll get back to that. And down here we have research, and we'll also get back to that. So let's head into this meteoroid strike here, and see what we can do to fix it. So let's send in the specialist. And we can see she's in this module over here, so to move all of the way over here, she'll take 1 health damage. But we'll do it anyway, I think. Or maybe we'll wait. We'll put in Kayla Jones here first. She doesn't take movement damage. And we'll see what she can do. I want to fix this meteoroid strike first because it does damage to the ship. So here we are in the module. And we can see it takes 23 points to repair it. And this is status effects that can happen to your dice. If you roll a 2 or you roll a 3, it'll become stasis. But here's the meteoroid strike. A catastrophic event has occurred. An unknown object has struck the ship exceeding 55,000 miles per hour, causing extensive damage. Right now we haven't rolled yet, which means that we can actually head back out freely. She's not committed, but let's just head back in again. By clicking her and clicking on this and deploy. When I roll the first set of dice, she'll be committed and then she can't leave. She'll be here for this turn. So let's do that. See what we roll. A 5 and a 6, that's excellent. So you can see that we have this 5 and we could either put it over here, plus 1 health to crew and modules, she would go up 1 health. Or we could put it over here, increase assist, meaning that we would get 3 more assists. And we only have 1. And the maximum that you can have is 3. And if you had rolled a 2 or a 3, then we would have used 1 assist to negate the effect of this. Stasis just means that you can't re-roll that dice. But we made a lot of points here. So we apply it up here and that subtracts 6 from that number. And now we subtract 5 and we'll get down to 12. You can actually see that there when you move the dice over it. You can see we hit down to 12. And when this number reaches 0, we repaired this situation here, this event. And now that we spent both dice, obviously we do not have a reroll anymore. So the doctor's turn is finished. So let's move in. I think we'll have to move in the specialist. Let's do that because she has 3 dice that she can roll. We can see that here. So she rolls 3 dice. And then she lost the dice. You always lose dice when you have rolled. But now we can repair the situation. Because we have 2 6s. And that's 12. And then we still have that 5 here. That we can put in this and earn more assists. So now that event is complete. So our ship will not take that damage when we finish this week. We can either take this and put it in here in research projects and we will get 1 point. And then we could use any of these research projects and the cost is here. This one costs 1 point, 6 points and 4 points. And this one is actually excellent. It repairs 28 points in a module. But it costs 6, meaning that we'll need to have a dice in all of these. But for now let's get the extra assists over here. So now you can see our assists went up to 3. And assists are actually very important because there's also a status effect that can happen to your dice if you roll a specific dice number that is named void and the dice will be gone. Or even one that does damage to your astronaut when they roll a specific dice, and the assists will negate that effect. So let's finish the deployment here. So now we only have this situation over here. It doesn't do damage, but it has -1 food. And food is what we use to regain dice to increase this number here. So food is a very important part of the game as well. So here's void, and that means that if you roll a 3 or a 4, that the dice will disappear. But if you roll it now, we have 3 assists, and we can use 1 assist to negate 1 effect. And let's roll. So we used an assist there on this 3 that we rolled to negate the void, which means that the dice did not disappear. So we can actually repair this now. So we have enough points to finish that. So now it's just the captain left. So now we could go anywhere here and try and roll a positive effect. See, we have enough assists. Food is always useful. So we could do that, or we could try to repair the ship by going over there. I think we'll go, we need dice rolls, because if you don't have dice rolls you can't really do anything. So let's just see if we can get some food here. So we rolled 2 4s, which is excellent. That means that we earned 1 food, that's what this means. If you could roll 1 more 4, we would get 2 extra food, but we just get 1. So you see our food went up here. We don't have any more dice, so we can't do anything else. So we'll finish the deployment here.
Moods are turning sour. The crew's and my own. But if I can't lead them, we're all dead. I need to get it together.
Choices. Choose a side project to perform, but be aware it may have negative consequences. The severity of the choices are influenced by the stress of the crew, so keep them mentally healthy. So we have a little choice to make here. If we activate the suppression system, we can get anywhere without a problem. It would help everyone do better work. No movement damage, and that's when the astronaut has to pass through a module that is damaged or where there's an event. But it will mean -1 dice for us, which is not good. So you really need the dice. Dice is what you use to do anything in the game. Or we could choose this. Will you shut those alarms off? I can't work when they are blaring in my ear and I can't remember what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. So this gives +1 dice for all crew, but minus health for all crew. We're pretty low on health, most of our crew actually. So if you view the ship here, we can see we have only 2 health on these guys. So I don't wanna take health damage either, because if the health reaches 0, the astronaut just dies. So I'm going to go with this one because we were lucky before that we rolled the food. So we have free food. Because then we don't take any movement damage when we move, and we have some people with low health. When the pantry was destroyed, we lost most of our packaged rations. Additional food can be produced in the greenhouse, but only in small batches. Carefully dole out the limited supplies to those in need. And we actually did produce a food in the last week. So we have free, and food restores 3 dice to any crew member. Give that to the captain. Let's see, let's give it to the mechanic. Give it to the doctor. Let's go with that. So now we're in a new week and some new events has happened. So we have an event here, -1 dice all, and vitality sensor error, sys fail. So we want to fix this first, I guess, because we don't want to have -1 dice for everybody. But none of these does any damage to the ship. There's no impending damage here. There's no red bars. And we can see that we have this status effect here, no movement damage. That's because of the event that we picked. So I guess we will send in the specialist here to roll something. So let's see what we get. I thought we got a 6 there, but we didn't. We only have 1 dice, unfortunately. And we can see that there's a stasis here on 1 and 2. I think we'll just put it in here actually. Put 1 point into research. This is an excellent card. It repairs pretty much any event instantaneously. So we want to save up a little bit on research. We'll finish his deployment. We'll put the doctor down here. And we'll roll. So we just used all of our assists here, unfortunately. So yeah, that's that. But this is enough actually to repair it. You could also re-roll, but there's so many stasis effects. But I guess it doesn't matter, because stasis, all it does is that you can't re-roll that exact dice. But we can re-roll the other dice. I think we should be able to get better rolls out of this. Just re-roll the whole thing. See, here we got a 6. But not a 5. I was hoping to make another 5 so we can put it in here. Got this one we can use for research, and then we'll fix this. So we completed the event. This dice we cannot unfortunately use for anything, because we can't put it here and it doesn't work for these. 5 or more is required. So we'll finish the deployment. But we fixed it, and now let's see. We'll head over here. We need to fix that -1 dice. So let's roll. So we can actually fix this event with this roll alone, and we have a 5. So we can increase assist, or we can increase die to crew in module. And this one's locked, we can't re-roll that one. But we need to repair this first, that would be first priority. So let's bring that down. And unfortunately we can't use that for anything. But we cleared the event. So everything is ship shape. And then we have the mechanic. And he has 4 dice. And we can try and do something positive with his dice. Let's take a look at the info here. This is stress, by the way. The stress factor of the crew. So none of them are that stressed out yet. They're doing fine. So we could move him in there to do some ship repair. Or we could go in here and try and create food. And we're doing okay with the ship. We have 3 health points. So I think we need food more than anything, because we need dice. If we don't have dice, we can't do anything. So let's roll. That's excellent. That's like, well, that's the best roll we could possibly do. We have 3 of a kind, meaning we got 2 food, the max amount of food that we could possibly make. And we still have a reroll here, so we can reroll this one and see if we either get it for research projects or 5 or more to repair the ship. Unfortunately it's a 3. That's no good, we can't use that for anything. So let's finish the deployment here. That's a pretty good week. We have no impending damage.
I let my fear get the better of me, but the others have proven me wrong. I'm proud of how the crew has come together. I think we might actually have a chance.
So we have a choice to make here. Okay, we've got to stay healthy. We'll only make it as a team. +2 health for the crew, but -2 for the ship. Look, this ship is in a bad way. We need to do something about it. I don't want to have to ask again. +2 ship, -1 dice for us. Let's just view this ship. We're fairly low on health for these 2. The ship has 3 hit points. But we have 2 food. So I think we'll go with this one and get more health points for the ship. Because we were lucky with our food rolls the last time. I'll give this to the mechanic. Because we might need to repair the ship at some point. That looks good. Detecting new events. So we have something here that will do damage to the ship. 3 points of damage. No, 2 points of damage. And we also have this down here. Convert or fail. That'll do 1 point of damage. Now you can see that this one has 3 dice rolls. That will do 1 point of health damage to an astronaut that's in there. So that's a pretty dangerous situation. We only have 1 assist. And it's 22 points to repair. So we could fix it with this. If you could fill out all of the research. We could also try to roll some additional assists in here in the lab. That's actually where the fire is, isn't it? Yeah, the fire's in there. I think we'll fix this converter fail first with the mechanic. And then we'll see if we also roll these dice that we need for the research projects. Because then we'll be able to fix the big problem with this one. So we have a 6 here. 5. And we can re-roll these. I think if we put up dice in there, we get 2 back. Yeah, so we see we got the dice back there. That's fine for that one. And the 6, we can either put it here and repair 6 points of this damage here. Or we can use it over here to just get +1 to the ship. We can put it in there and we'll re-roll that and hope for something greater. We got a 6. So we actually cannot repair that entirely. It does 1 ship damage, so we can negate that by just adding 1 more health points to the ship here. We'll finish the deployment.